So we're going to be talking about sketch brushes, okay? Different tasks when you're digital painting are going to require different brushes to get the best effect. When it comes to sketching, there's a few things we're looking for. We're looking for something that can get thicker and thinner depending on how hard we press, or if it can get lighter or darker depending on how hard we press. Now, I'm not going to focus on the exact specific brushes we should use as much as I'm going to focus on the qualities or attributes the brush has, because there's millions of brushes out there, and you can use really whichever ones you want. We're just going to be focusing on what things it needs to be able to function the way we want it to. So the specific brush doesn't matter nearly as much as what it's capable of doing. And if you don't know what a brush can do, well, the best way to find out is to test it. Pull out the brush, mess around with it, see what it's capable of. So we're going to go over some examples. The first one that I like to sketch with when I'm doing an underpainting or underdrawing is the pencil brush, right? It has just a little bit of texture, so it feels a little bit more like a pencil, and it can either get really thin or really thick and dark, okay? And that's really great because we can use that to sort of really loosely sketch in stuff where we want it to be, and then go a little bit darker once we're sure we've made that complete decision on it. And that's what we're going for, right? If it was just always dark all the time or always thick, we wouldn't really like that for sketching because it doesn't give us any control over it. An example would be like, let's see, this technical pencil here. It pretty much just stays one weight the whole time. That's not what we're looking for. We want something that's going to be able to shift and move depending on how hard we're pushing, okay? Another good one would be you can do something if you want more of like a pen look, right? Something that's a little bit thicker. You want to make sure that when you're sketching, if you have a streamline option, that it's turned pretty low or off completely, because you want to get all the little nuances of a sketch in there, right? So that's one part of it. Another style of sketching would be is if we go to, let's say we're going to be doing a more painterly approach, right? And our sketch is going to start out really rough, okay? Then you're going to want something that has opacity instead of thickness, or maybe even a little bit of both. This round brush here is a good example because I can start really big, okay? And I'll probably start with even lower opacity, but I can start really big and kind of think about what the shapes are as I'm sketching this in, right? And I can keep it really loose and really rough, which is kind of what we want to go for, right? And at first, it looks really sloppy, but as you make a new layer and lower the opacity, which is what we typically do, you can slowly start to refine it a little bit more, right? And so because it has that ability to get lighter and darker as we press, it's going to give us more control over what we're doing, okay? Once again, this doesn't have a ton of texture. We don't need something with a lot of texture. What we need is something that has the ability to really get some energetic lines in there by either getting darker or thinner and thicker, okay? So those are some good examples of that. And that pretty much covers it, okay? Once again, it's not so much about the specific brush as it is about the brush qualities. You just need something that's going to be able to meet your requirements, okay? So that's it for sketch brushes. I'll see you guys in the next lecture.